Hello everyone and welcome back to the Math Pundit. Today I'm going to be going over how to solve equations when the variable is on both sides of the equation. If you find that you need some practice with the types of questions that you see here, then as always, I have linked a practice worksheet and a key in the description below. Okay, here we go. This first question is asking us to solve for s when 8 plus 5s is equal to 7s minus 2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and isolate s here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this 2 right here. So that means I'm going to have to add 2 to both sides of the equation because it's being subtracted on this side. So if we do that, we get 10 plus 5s is equal to 7s. And because we're trying to isolate s, that means we need to get s and its coefficient on one side of the equation and the constant on the other side of the equation. So that means that we're going to have to move this 5s over. So because it's being added, I'm just going to subtract 5s from both sides of the equation. And from this, we get that 10 is equal to 7s minus 5s is 2s. Now, finally, to get rid of this 2 right here, the coefficient of s, I'm going to divide by 2 because it's being multiplied with s. So divide by 2. Divide by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 2s divided by 2 is s, and our answer is s equals 5. Question 2 is slightly harder, but I'm just going to take it layer by layer and try to isolate q here. So the first thing that you want to do here is I'm just going to multiply these out. So I'm going to use the distributive property and I'm going to multiply out the 1/3. Excuse me. There, that's better. And the 6. So 1/3 multiplied out to 18 plus 12q will give you 6 plus 4q. And 6 times 2q is 12q, and 6 times minus 7 is minus 42. And now this is where we're going to start trying to isolate q. So in order to isolate this 12q first, I'm going to get rid of the negative 42. So that just means I'm going to add 42 to both sides. And 6 plus 42 gives us 48. So here we have 4q plus 48 is equal to 12q. And now I'm going to get rid of the 4q here and move it here in order to isolate the q, put it by itself on one side. So that means I'm going to have to subtract 4q from both sides. 4q plus 48 minus 4q is just 48. And 12q minus 4q is 8q. And then finally, I'm going to get rid of this coefficient of 8. So I'm just going to divide by 8 on both sides. And that will give us that q is equal to 6. All right, last question. This is a word problem, and it says the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W, where L is the length and W is the width. A rectangle has a perimeter of 24 inches. Find its dimensions if its length is 3 inches greater than its width. I'm going to highlight this word greater here. So we're going to get started with this problem. We're given that the perimeter is 24 inches. We're also given that the length is 3 inches greater than its width. So with this information, I'm going to, first of all, let's deal with this length is 3 inches greater than its width. So it's telling us that length is 3 inches greater than its width. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to rewrite this perimeter formula. So P equals 2L plus 2W. And then I'm just going to substitute everything I know. So we know that the rectangle has a perimeter of 24 inches. So this P equals 24. I'm going to substitute L out. So you see here that we've figured out that L is 3 plus W. So here, 2 times 3 plus W plus 2W is equal to 24. Now I'm going to distribute the 2 out, and that will give us 6 plus 2W plus 2W. And now I'm going to kind of do 2 steps at once. I'm going to add these 2, and I'm also going to get rid of this 6. So that means we're just going to subtract 6 from both sides of the equation, and that will give us 18 is equal to 4W. Okay, now to get rid of that 4 from the coefficient of W, I'm just going to divide by 4 on both sides, and we get W is equal to 4.5 inches. And we know, I'm going to bring us back over here. We know that the length is 3 more than the width, and we know the width. So the length is 3 plus 4.5, and that gives us that the length is 7.5 inches. And that's our final answer.